Hello, I'm Michael Henderson, cricket writer of the Daily Telegraph, and I'm at Lord's, which, as you can see, even on a day when there is no cricket taking place, still makes a perfect picture. And we're here to reflect on the Natwest one-day series between England and West Indies, which England won comfortably against a very dispirited and lethargic West Indian side. England have made a wonderful start, I think, under their new coach, Andy Flower. He's instilled a sense of purpose that wasn't always evident there before, and he's not a sentimental man. He's prepared to drop players if they're out of form and to promote other players if they're in form. And we saw that in the wonderful batting of Ravi Bopara, who has established himself at first wicket down for the rest of the summer. And at this stage of the season, it's wonderful to have certainty in the batting order. At a stroke, England look a better, more confident, more relaxed and more united side than they have done for the better part of a year. And although Australia will start the summer favourites to win the Test series, to retain the Ashes and also to win the one-day series, England will be sure to give them a good contest. The sad fact is that since Brian Lara retired 2 years ago after the last World Cup, the West Indies haven't had any star performers, which is a shame when you consider that those islands have given so much to the game. They've given the world some of the greatest players and some of the most entertaining players. And entertainment is, of course, what one-day cricket is all about. We've seen some splendid one-day finals here at Lord's, for instance. West Indies won the first two in 1975 and 1979, and then they lost in 1983 to India, which was a great upset. Therefore, if I were challenged to select the 6 leading one-day entertainers from 4 decades of international cricket, let's call them the Natwest Hot 6. Here they are in reverse order. I think I would start with someone who didn't actually have a stellar international career. Mike Proctor, the South African all-rounder, was denied a Test career and a one-day career because South Africa were excluded from international cricket in 1970. But I think Proctor would be in that list at number 6. He was a brilliant batsman, a magnificent bowler, and he led the team, notably Gloucestershire, which was called Proctorshire when he came here in the early 70s. He led them to the old Gillette Cup triumph before Natwest in 1973, and he was a magnificent player. At number 5, I think I would put Wasim Akram, the Pakistani all-rounder, for reasons which are fairly obvious. He was a match winner. He did more than anybody to enable Pakistan, captained by Imran Khan, to win the World Cup in 1992. He was a magnificent player with bat and ball, a terrific entertainer. At number 4, I think I would put Aravinda de Silva, the Sri Lankan batsman. Some people would go for Sanath Jayasuriya, his teammate, who was an explosive opening batsman who literally hit the ball out of the ground. De Silva was an elegant, unhurried stroke player. And of course, he made a century in the World Cup final in Lahore in 1996 when the Sri Lankans beat Australia. So I think I'd have De Silva in there to add a touch of class, a touch of grace. At number 3, we must have the great Shane Warne, who did more than anybody to help Australia win the World Cup in 1999. Here at Lord's, he took 4 wickets in the final against Pakistan, having taken 4 in the semi-final at Edgbaston against South Africa, with scores level, 213 runs apiece. They won on fewer wickets conceded. But the 2 outstanding entertainers, I think, in the history of one-day cricket were both West Indians. Vivian Richards, the great Viv. He was the baby of the team when the West Indies won the World Cup final of 1975. He didn't make many runs that day. But he made up for it 4 years later when West Indies beat England and Viv made a magnificent century. And people may well recall, actually, that the final ball of that game, bowled by Mike Hendrick, a perfectly good ball, a low full toss. Viv simply swivelled, batting here at the nursery end, and he flicked the ball for 6 over square leg into the bandstand. It was a stroke of an absolute master. But the out-and-out entertainer, I believe, is Clive Lloyd. Viv Richards was the greater player, but I think that the young Clive Lloyd, we're talking now about the Guyanese who came to England in 1969 for Lancashire, he was the supreme one-day entertainer. He was a magnificent fieldsman in his early days. He was lithe, he was quick. You wouldn't really risk a run to Clive because he hit the stumps. And as a left-handed batsman, so long as he survived the first couple of overs, he was going to provide royal entertainment. And of course, his greatest achievement took place again here, June the 22nd, 1975, when 3 wickets went down in the World Cup final, the first World Cup final, and what a day it was. Australia were on top, Clive made 102. It was a magnificent innings which won the day. So I think Clive Lloyd is the great all-round one-day entertainer.